Hello and welcome to Kickstand, a Street Riders production. This week we got together to bring you the first ever episode of Kickstand podcast. Please enjoy.
Oh, now we need to get MSR up.
I'll give you a bit more there. Alright, so I'm Else, as you can see through the camera, if that footage is even gonna work.
Yes. Yeah.
Hopefully. I have no faith in today. And on mic 2 we have Dino.
Hello.
On your two.
Wait, you forgot to mention you don't ride.
Oh yeah.
You don't even listen. The people listening will find out. They already found out with Damien.
I'm kind of bikeless at the moment, but it's fine. But it's all good. So on mic 3 we have Sam, who's a very respected troll of MSR.
Well, no, I'm a very serious poster. Like, I use it. Look how quiet my thing is.
Do you want to speak up, Sam?
Is that better?
Speak up for yourself.
That's
Is that better?
That's better, Sam.
I still think it's too quiet. I'm a very respectful blogger. I think that's the word I'd use. MSR is my blog. Yeah?
Right,
Whatever, man.
right,
Whatever.
Right.
Okay, so basically, let's explain MSR. And also Thomas. We missed Thomas.
Dude.
I'm sorry, Thomas.
Hello,
Thomas
everyone.
is in.
I'm Thomas. Call me T-Bomb. And I ride a Seagas MC22.
Oh, that's right.
Full custom.
That's right. But we'll get into what everyone has ridden / rides
We'll
or
get
whatever.
into Sam.
We'll get into Sam. Yeah. But for now,
Shit talk, bro.
for people that don't know anything about MSR, basically, it's Melbourne Street Riders. We're trying to have the show be kind of half associated, not really, not like completely associated to the point where it's just like about MSR.
But the podcast is called MSR.
Yeah.
No, the podcast, this podcast, I think, like, courtesy of Dino, I think we're going to call it Kickstand.
I reckon we call it Dale and Riders.
Oh God.
I think we're going to call it, okay. Fucking hell.
I think Kickstand's appropriate because
I think Kickstand is appropriate,
We're not
yeah.
riding.
You know
We
what's
can back now.
overheating?
Yeah, basically.
You put it in a
Overheating is a
kickstand.
good title.
Basically.
When we're taking this much shit talk, most of the time we put our kickstands down. So I'm done. I'm done.
So we get
Yeah, yeah.
It's overheating.
It's not just that.
There's
Yeah.
going to be a lot of roast.
Yeah, and it's not just that. It's basically going to be...
My bike overheated.
It's going to be like things you would
Relevant.
say as you like chill down after having like a nice ride and going for a long
Yeah.
ride, and you sit down and you start talking to each other and just
We
talking
should
shit.
call it latte then.
Yeah.
We need lattes. Hey, further
Can we call
down...
it vanilla?
Further down...
Oh, we don't
Further
like
down the
caddies.
track, I reckon we should have coffees and shit. Like I said,
Yeah. Well, we need to get Ben here then. We don't have caddies.
Hey.
So
yeah. Well, make sure your mouth is close to the mic. If you can't hear yourself coming out through the PA, that means you're not loud enough.
Oh yeah.
Can I hear mine?
That sucks.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
All right. I think it's
No,
better
you're
now.
too loud. Thomas, stop doing that. Okay.
I think you just need to scroll across there.
I'm gonna have it follow it.
Obviously, you clip all this and shit, don't you? I'm sure you're not just going to use it just like raw.
No, we're gonna edit the crap
put a
out of it.
shitload of
Yeah.
echo on my voice, please. And make it like 1 octave lower so it sounds very deep.
Oh
I
god.
feel like I'm on Triple J right now.
Fuck yeah.
You,
That's actually what I was thinking tonight. I was sitting here thinking of all the Triple J songs to listen to.
Jay. No whistling. Breathing either.
Just trying to have fun,
Don't
man.
breathe.
Hurricane.
No
Katrina.
fun. No
Oh,
fun in
No
this
fun.
room.
No fun.
So we're going to
There
start
is no
getting
fun.
into topics? I feel like we
Serious.
get into topics.
Yeah. So
Topic
what
number
does?
one.
Okay. So we'll go one by one.
Well, no, let me just... Tire shine. What do you guys think about
No,
tire?
God, Sam, can we keep it structured? Seriously.
Meaning
so-
too hard, Sam.
Yeah.
So, how did everyone here get into MSR? I can start by saying
accident.
I just alright. So we'll go one by one, and explain how you found out about MSR. How about that?
Actually,
That sound alright?
Actually, that's quite a funny one, actually.
Alright,
Yeah.
alright. I'll
The way
start.
I found out... Oh, you want to go first? You go first. No, go on. Go on.
No, go
Ladies
for it.
first,
Go
Alf.
for it. That's cool, man. That's
I was
cool,
going
man.
to say, the person I found out about it, I pulled up on my bike in my driveway. I don't think I've told you this. I pulled up to my driveway, and then as I was closing the garage door, like my old house was a carport,
Yeah.
as the garage door was closing, some guy pulled up in his car and was like, hey, mate. And like the door went down, so I opened it back up. And the guy's like, I just wanted to ask you some questions about your bike. Like, my mate's looking at buying a bike like yours. And I was like, this is when I just found out about like bike theft and that, because I was only like a few months into riding, and I was like real wary with the guy, thinking, "Fuck, he's at my like house, like sees where my
and
bike's
he's
parked."
running up to your garage.
Yeah, he was just in the car. He like pulled up in the car and just got out. And I was talking to him, and he was like, "Oh," I said, "Yes, my mate's looking at buying one of these as well." And I was like, "Oh, okay." He's like, "Oh, so like, what's the condition of the bike like?" And that, and he like started asking really personal questions about my bike, where I was going to be like, "Is he trying to figure out how good condition, like if it's worthwhile taking mine?"
Yeah.
Then he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm on MSI." I said, "You should join it," and that. And then I added him on Facebook and that.
What's
He's
his
like,
name?
He's like a full-on squid.
Oh,
Biggest squid,
not one of
man.
those.
He's
Okay,
like, he's got a GSXR. He does monos down Beach Road at night.
Oh dear God.
And every time I've seen him riding, he's riding like shorts, singlet, and all of his photos on Facebook are
Okay,
like kind
look,
of there's
there's gonna be a few people that are confused. What is MSR? What is it?
Well, it's a bike community
Yeah.
for memes.
It's pretty accurate.
For fuck's sake.
Well, no, it's a community for.
Yeah.
Am I doing it right? Latte photos.
Oh my God.
Name and shames. Lots of name and shaming. Squidding. Chicken strips. Pizza
Savage.
meats. A lot of Greg Phillips.
Oh Jesus.
And what else is there to it?
What's up with Greg Phillips and the small head jokes?
Oh God!
Oh, no, that's-
Can we
that's
not?
too
Can
far,
we
that's
please
too
not
far.
get personal, guys? Guys, keep
No, I
it
just meant like as in like
keep it broad. We don't want to get too personal with
well,
this.
no,
no.
This is gonna be fucked.
what else is there?
I just heard that. Oh.
Sure.
No, I think that's about it really. That's what I can think of.
Yeah.
Oh, and a lot of 250 and Ninja 300 jokes.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of that.
Compulsory.
So it's just a community for people to connect and sort of find out other people to ride with and stuff. That's in theory it's meant to be like that.
Yeah,
It's pretty good. But you do have your Sam Carters and you know
Naturally, man. Naturally.
It is a really good group. Like when I've actually had problems, like when I had the coolant drop,
yeah, that's
I
right.
posted up in the MSI group. Everyone who commented
Oh,
was
dude.
really helpful.
Yeah.
Straight
Like,
away.
imagine if MSR didn't exist. I reckon, like, not many people are willing to admit this.
The total business would be fucking thriving right now, man.
But look, if MSR was not there, I reckon a lot of people would kind of be lost at the moment. Not at the moment. If you take it away.
Yeah.
If it was never there, maybe people would never notice it. But if it was here and all of a sudden it was gone, people will kind of be lost. Like, especially like a vast majority, not just like just a select few. I think like a vast majority would be just like, we don't really know what to do. I want to ride with people, but I can't find anyone. I want to know what places that are good to ride with, and like
Exactly, yeah.
and you don't know. I want to buy oil for my bike. What the fuck do I buy? There's so many different
which
brands.
lane should I ride on the boulevard?
Yeah. Which inside lane do I take? Do I stay wide or do I cut into the apex and scrape knee on
And
Yarra
not
Boulevard?
pick up any tax.
Alright.
Well,
If-
you want to find great
if people
with
here are-
bikes.
if people
You want
listening
great
are not-
people with bikes, man.
Well, dude, if people here are not from Melbourne and they're wondering what Yarra Boulevard is, I'll hand you over to Sam and he'll explain what Yarra Boulevard is and the development of this race course throughout the years. Take it away, Sam.
I'm done.
No, you're not done. Well, dude, you can't be the chief executive engineer of Yarra Boulevard and then just like leave.
That's the worst title. That's not going on my resume. How did you find out about MSR?
About MSR, wow. So I was an absolute noob at motorbiking. Had my first CBR 250RR.
Wait, you're not anymore? What?
No, I'd like to think we develop, but yeah, I was riding and stuff, and there was a guy at work who got a Gixxer 750,
Yeah.
and he started joining up all these riding groups, started hanging out with people. I was kind of just like riding on my own sort of thing, just getting used to it all. And he's told me to join up this MSR group, and I had a look into it, and there was, fair few likes on it, fair few people
Yeah.
attached, and there's always events, always group rides happening. And I thought, holy crap, this is bad.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, you've had this stuff kind of before. You've had like these forums, like forum pages, but there's nothing that there was nothing real time. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever signed up to like a forum for like cars or bikes or whatever before.
Yeah.
But like you post something and maybe 2 days later someone will reply to it. It's like it's really dead and really quiet. Whereas MSR is like, hey, I've got a problem. I'm pulled over the side of the road. Bang, like 17 people already see it, start talking about it. It's just so instant. It happens so quick, and because everyone wants to be a part
it's
of it.
not like people want to help too. It's like the willingness to help. If you, for example, like I'm not hating on any car clubs or whatever, or car pages, but let's just say you're in, I don't know, some car page, even a specific one specifically for your car, a Skyline or whatever, and you message, put a post up of your car on the side of the road and just be like, oh, head gasket blown or something like that. How many people are gonna be like, yeah, man, like, and they're gonna give out their time to help you out? I mean, not many people can, fair enough, but those ones who can, I don't think they'll be more inclined to help. They'll just be like, yeah, tough
I
luck.
just think that's the motorcycle community in general, though. It just seems that, like, when you see someone pulled on the side of the road, like, especially if it's another bike or something,
yeah.
like, I've done this myself a couple times.
Yeah, you just
I'll
stop.
pull over, I'll stop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Some people, I mean, most of them are, they see it as common sense. It's a funny story. I used to stop on the side of the freeway for anyone that's stopped, or like, no, not even freeway, just any highway or whatever, even especially if it's out of Melbourne, and I'll stop and they'll be really confused. They'll be like, what's up? Like, what do you want? I'll be like, oh, I'm just making sure you're all right. I mean, some of them were like, yeah, thanks. Like, they expect you to stop because they would stop other people. But some people don't get it, and they were like really surprised, and then they're really grateful in the end. So I would like to think that I've passed that on, that they would stop for someone that they wouldn't have stopped before because I stopped for them.
Yeah, fully
If you
agree,
get what I mean.
They would stop for you.
They would stop for me. Yes. if you don't get that joke, my name ends with Dawood. So I don't see it as comedic, but these guys do. So I'm just gonna go along with it.
Well, that's the thing. Though. Like, I mean,
Pretty funny.
I think the biggest issue is the reason car community is not anywhere near as like strong as bikes is you got to think about like cars. Everyone drives cars. Like, there's commuters.
Yeah, exactly. That's
people,
another thing. Yeah,
it's just so broad where it's really hard to find which kind of person is worth stopping for and which one isn't. Whereas bikes, you see a bike, he's another rider, he's a fellow rider. Just because there's such a small majority of the community ride motorbikes. But
Yeah, I agree.
most motorbike riders, we all ride for the same reason. There'll be occasionally that one rider will see like the touring bikes. Some of them are just commuters, and then kind of people. But even still, like most of them would still stop if they saw you parked on the side of the road or something.
Yeah, that's right.
pretty much, man. It's like for example, I've had people not stop for me that I think will stop. I've had people that I genuinely didn't need help, and I was like, I hope they stop. And I'm like, I don't want to go to the effort of so much putting my arm out and just be like, stop, because I don't want to burden them. But I'm just expecting them to just give it out of their time. Like I don't want to stop them and make them feel obligated to stop. But I've been in times where I'm just like standing on the side of the road, something's fucked, or some I run out of fuel or whatever. It's happened a few times, and I've just been like stranded, and a few bikes have gone past. But then eventually, like maybe the third, fourth bike maximum, they would stop. Someone would stop and be like, what do you need? And that's really good. I mean, it's not perfect. That's my point. It's not perfect, but it's pretty much it's pretty good overall. So yeah.
Well, that's what's good. Yeah, like I mean, I've ridden a couple of times. I saw like a lady parked on the side of the road, and she went past us legit like 20 minutes earlier. We're having coffees, me and Ryan, and as we were leaving,
Mullins?
she was like legit. Yeah, she was like legit 200 meters down the road, on the side of the road. I was like, she passed us 20 minutes ago, like thinking she's probably like broken down or something. Pulled up and she's sitting on the phone and loudspeaker. But she appreciated the fact that we stopped
That's good
for her.
though.
So we got the other way. We just went up, just said, "Oh, like you're right." She's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah, I saw you go past like 20 minutes ago, like a bit out of the ordinary, just you to be sitting there
Have
that
you
long."
ever been stopped on the side of the road? You're not too far off the road. You're just like on the side of the road. And have you ever had a car stop and check if you're alright?
Yeah, like I've had a time like where a car driver actually pulled over, saw me going around the roundabout. This car fully cut me off. And I pulled up next to her, the pedestrian crossing, as I was turning onto the pavement. I just quickly looked at her.
Yeah.
She starts waving her hands around as if I was the idiot.
Yeah.
I was a bit like, okay, like whatever. Like I just pulled onto the side of the road.
Oh, like this morning, same thing. How that old lady was just like going in front of us.
Yeah,
Like,
she just murdered. Like we've taken off the lights, just cruising off in the car of ours. This old lady literally just starts leaning towards ours. Ours slows down, and she went into our lane.
And I'm like, I'm like on the freaking horn the whole time. I'm bang, and she's not doing shit. And I come next to her at the next lights, and I'm looking at her. I'm like, I'm waving my hands. I'm going, what the fuck was that? And she's just like looking at me like, I'm like, at least admit that you're wrong. At least admit that you She it's not like she like drifted into my lane. No. She basically merged into my lane, and then indicated out and then merged back and then indicated out again. I'm like, that's another thing. Like, should old people be on the road?
Man,
We're not getting
Well,
to
the
that
only
topic.
time I almost got like
Should old people be on the road? Like, seriously, I mean, it's a topic I don't want to discuss, but
Yeah.
but
you just
No,
brought it up.
I'm not even gonna like jump on that one. I'm not even
Yeah.
gonna get triggered.
it is a big question. Though. Should old people be on the road? Like,
Well,
yes,
look.
they need to go to places, they need to do stuff just like any other person, but
The only time
You're
I ever
doing it. You're
got
doing it. You're triggering us. I'm so close to getting triggered right now. I'm
No,
so
I
close
think-
to like going to full kind of like.
I think what we should say is, should car drivers see
old.
what they're doing from a different point of view?
yeah,
You know what I mean? So say, for instance, like us motorbike riders, like we're pretty, well, we try to be careful, you know? Obviously, you know, here and there we'll have fun on the roads, whatever, but within
Still
reason,
stay
you
aware,
know?
though, don't we? Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
no,
I mean, we
large
still know we're
majority.
vulnerable.
Mm.
You know, and we're not like, you know, protected in a shell, like, you know, you can't do some silly things, whatever. But I think car drivers, to them, it's just like a car is like an appliance, like a microwave. You put your plate in there, use it, pull it out.
that is
finish.
a really good analogy.
Especially in
Yeah,
summertime, yeah.
that
Yeah,
is
yeah,
a really
it's
good
just-
analogy.
To them, it's like,
this guy.
That is a really good analogy.
you
It's
wouldn't-
just
they
an
wouldn't think
appliance.
of-
It's,
yeah,
you
it's
get
just
in,
like,
you press some buttons, and you're there. And it's like
yeah, and it
done.
works, you know. But the person that you almost just killed, who cares? You know, like, oh,
Yeah,
it wasn't
Yeah.
me. You know,
that's a
I
really
think
good
that's,
analogy. People are
yeah.
just way too asleep when they're driving. One problem I have with people is they think that driving is a right, but I don't think it's a right at all. I think it's a privilege.
Oh,
It's
it
a privilege you got to work for and earn. If you don't own that privilege, then you know, you just shouldn't be driving. Like, it's
Well-
if you don't earn the right to drive, you can't demand it like it's one of your civil rights. Like, it's
Yeah.
not. It's not like, it's same thing goes for like a forklift. If you're just really shit at, like, you know, hand-eye coordination, you don't just. It's not your right as a citizen to drive a forklift. But then why is it a right to drive a car? It's the same thing. Just heavy machinery. Yes, it gets you places. Hot forklift is meant for like
yeah.
industrial stuff, but inherently it's the same thing. It's not. You can't just like disconnect it and be like, you know, if you can walk, you can drive. It's like,
Yeah. Yeah, but
no.
See, that comes into play with like what people's expectations are in society in general. Like when you
Yeah.
say a right to drive, you don't ever pay for rights, do you? I mean, you pay for privileges, and like you do pay for your license.
Yeah,
You didn't get your license because that would be your right to then have it.
yeah,
If you received it for free, that's given to you. It's a gift. It's a right to use it, but you paid for it, so it is a privilege. So treat it like one.
yeah.
And that's, you know, that
I don't know, man.
when people
Try,
say that,
try,
it kind of
try and
triggers them.
convey that to all the drivers.
But that's the
Everywhere.
thing, dude. Like motorbike riders, like that's one thing. Not all car drivers that aren't this, but a large majority of bikes compared to cars, we have that ambition to improve on our skills.
Yeah.
Every
correct.
time we go out riding, we get people to record us. We watch the footage. Like, we love fucking recording ourselves riding.
Yeah.
We go home
Do
and
you
we
look
watch the
badass?
footage.
I've actually never
I
had
think so.
any footage of me riding.
Oh,
Never.
like, I must be. I've only had it recently, but every time I look at it,
was
I'm like,
aware of people filming when I was there, and I'm on this obviously on the footage, but I've never honestly watched myself ride, which
it is
is
actually really good feedback.
yeah, I know, and I've never had it, which is really fucked up. Like I never got to experience that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
But,
Thomas
like,
is
that's
right.
the thing. Like you look at it and you you find ways to improve your skills. You go out looking for new gear. You look at new tires and that. Like we're so like self-aware of like how we ride our
Yeah.
vehicle and so on. Whereas most car
Honestly, it's
people-
not everyone. Not everyone. I've met some
Oh,
people. I'm not
no,
gonna
yeah,
I'm not gonna
everyone,
name any. I'm not gonna say any names, but
But
I've-
most car drivers, they get the car,
Yep.
which is working, reliable,
yeah.
and the
Well,
car.
yeah,
you
yeah.
find a car which
I know what
you
you're
don't
trying to
have
say.
work on.
I know what you're
That's
trying to say.
The goal of a motor vehicle.
Yeah.
For car drivers,
Well,
a car which will not break down,
yeah.
easy to maintain, where you haven't got to worry about it when you drive to and from work.
Honestly, what I'm trying to say is that to the person that doesn't really know about like riding and stuff, once you get a bike, it doesn't mean it's going to convert you. It doesn't mean, like, I've seen some people who do get a bike and still treat it like a car, and they crash and burn. Not in the terms of crashing, like I'm talking about, like maybe they crash, you know, hopefully not. But I'm saying, you know, I've had a friend who went out into the hills about 3 days after I've told him your chain's way too loose, it's going to fall off. It's fallen off on him in one of the corners.
Yeah.
He didn't crash, thankfully. Actually went off and didn't seize up the tire, just like I don't know,
Sprocket. Yeah,
I don't know
this.
how it went to the side. It stayed there, and I was like cringing when he told me about that. But I was like, dude, did you learn your lesson now? And he's like, yeah. obviously he didn't, because he kept doing more and more of this shit. To eventually, he had a bike so unrideable, he got defected to the point where he lost his license.
Shit.
Yeah. He basically got stopped by a highway patrol, and I think that's a good thing. Like he said, obviously he went for the usual fucking dogs and whatever. But I actually do agree with the highway patrol, because if I had that power to get him off the road and get him to sort of wake up to himself and the condition of what he's on, and sort of save himself from himself, I would actually do the same thing the highway patrol did.
Well, that's the thing. Me and you've met highway patrol, like who've actually, they know when to. Not all of them. This isn't like all cops, but the cops, like me and you, had that one night. They sat there and they wanted us to learn a lesson from it. It wasn't just to try and.
Well, he wasn't highway patrol actually. That guy was not highway patrol.
Undercover.
He was an undercover. Undercover is different to highway patrol.
Those two guys, they gave us a good telling off, but they weren't trying to. I sort of like to me he was more like he was being more like an authoritative fatherly figure, like someone who's like, not your dad, but someone who's like good mates with their dad, and like you have to listen to him. That's the way he was talking, which is really good tactic to me. Like I would really listen to someone who's talking like that. I know for a fact, man, that day that made a huge impact on my riding.
Well, you've been certified by a cop for your.
What happened that day?
Oh well, okay, so we were on Nepean Highway.
Yeah.
We turned onto Warrigal Road. We turned left onto Warrigal Road.
Don't tell them this story.
And
not on the podcast.
What happened was
evidence.
Earlier that day I just got a new front tire for my bike. So I was trying to like wear it in. I was going side to side, waving like just going side to side. I know some people might argue that it doesn't do shit, but I mean mentally it's sort of psychologically it was helping me. Like just at least if I was thinking I'm breaking the tire in, then that helped.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm just going side to side. I'm not being too aggressive and whatever, but I am sort of like taking up my lane. I'm just going from side to side, and then this guy was doing it as well, like a little bit. And all of a sudden, I'm in the right lane, and Sam's in the left, and he's like slightly behind me. And all of a sudden, I see lights behind me, and I'm like, oh. And I'm thinking I'm so innocent that he can't be going after me. So I moved out of the way. Like I didn't indicate, I didn't do shit. I just moved out of the way as an emergency maneuver for him to go past me.
Yeah.
Next thing, he's behind me. So I'm like,
man,
what the hell?
That was scary that night, because they were trialing out the microphone.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
So
I heard something vaguely.
And then all I could hear was the microphone.
Yeah, it was like,
like he was telling me pull over, and I'm thinking, crap, like I've done something bad. Like,
dude,
they're on the microphone ordering me to pull over.
Dude, I relapsed.
The siren on, the lights were on, and they were telling me over the mic.
I relapsed into GTA straight away. I was like, the helicopter's coming.
Shotgun out the window,
4 stars. Fuck.
Jeez.
So anyway, I went like up ahead.
Behind me, I pulled into the sides. Like, I pulled
No. See,
side street.
I was still in front of you. No. I went in front of you, and I went forward, and I was like, where do I stop? And I didn't want to pull in too hard to the side street, so I ended up going all the way straight to the Macca's, which was like 300 meters down. I get to the Macca's, I do a left, and I look behind me. There was no one there. They allowed me to do a runner. They don't even have my plates yet, but I'm like, wait, I didn't do anything wrong. I'm gonna go back and see what Sam is. So I do a U-turn, come back, and I see the lights coming out of one side straight. I go in, and it's like an undercover. He's pulled Sam over, and I went in next to him, and I stopped, got off, took my gear off, and I was like, "What's up?" And he looks at me, and he looks at Sam. And he's like, "Oh, I saw what you guys were doing there." And then he looks at Sam, and he's like, "I saw that front wheel come up."
What?
He's like, "I saw there was a bit of lift on the front," and I was like, "Oh shit, cop approved wheelie." I was like, "Fuck." I was like, "Can I get that in writing?" Gives him an infringement.
Posted on MSR.
Shit. Yeah, he's like, "This is proof that a 250 can get up on one."
You actually up on one on the 250. This one
it's
time.
probably like centimeters off the ground.
Bro, you can measure it with the valve clearance thing.
Valve clearance. Dear God.
Oh,
It's great.
but
It's
I
great.
remember those guys, man. They gave us the full-on lecture, didn't they?
They did, man. They did. He was like, "All right, guys, I don't want to see you like on the side of the pavement."
Well, we won't use names, but like he referred to a couple.
Yeah,
of
he did refer to an old friend that has passed away 2 weeks after getting a new bike, And he did say, oh, he was doing the same thing you were doing, which is going side to side. But man, he was doing it much quicker. I was being safe about it. I'm not going to say I was doing something completely safe, but man,
look, I think after that we learned you can't just be treating the road as a playground, especially when you're in. There was like still a bit of traffic around, wasn't there? And I think I'm pretty sure he was just sort of he was talking to us as if just to prevent future stuff from escalating. Like I'm pretty sure like he realized he didn't give us too much of a hassle because he realized we weren't doing much and we weren't being irresponsible. But he saw potential because we were young and everything. He's like, you know what? I better tell these guys early on so that I don't have to pull them over and actually do give them a fine later on. Which is cool of him. I understand. I respect that. But at the same time, it's like, is it safe to do what we're doing? Yeah, probably. But like, can it escalate and can you start getting a bit carried away? Of course, you can. So yeah, it's like cops and stuff. I'm not very keen on the whole thing, but at the same time I do see some good in it at the very least. Look, most of my especially the bike coppers went down to Flinders, and when we went on that big group ride,
I have still yet to be a good bike cop.
You haven't not met one.
I have not met a good one.
Ones in Morjallic.
The first one I saw.
No, not those ones. No, those ones are a bit off, weren't they? But I'm talking about down at Flinders, the ones who pulled us over, and then we started we went through the twisties with them, didn't we? There was Alex and Reese following up behind them, going through the twisties.
Oh yeah.
The first one,
100 zone.
Dude. The first one I ever saw was when I was on my 250. It was about like a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago, and I was like, oh my god, a bike cop! And I was like so excited. It was in a side street, and I was like, oh, like holy shit, I've never seen one. And I like put up my hand. I was waving at him, I was like, I full had a 250, and I'm on my L's.
Doing the finger, just like
I'm on my L's and everything, and I was just like, wow, this got bike off. So I'm waving at him and everything, and he goes, "You stop over there," and he's like pointing, and he's like going for me.
Just like fuck this 250 rider. I'm a leader rider. I'm not even nod to you.
Hey, no.
Yeah,
get this right. Get this. He stops me.
I don't nod to 250s.
He stops me and he's like, I'm like, what did I do, man? Like I was cut. I was like really like heartbroken. I was like, dude, yeah. So I'm like, why are you pulling me over, man? Like, why are you, you're the first bike cop I've ever seen. Why are you being like that? And he's like, oh, no reason, just checking. And I'm like, what bike is that?
Probably.
And then I had him. I triggered him. He was like, oh, it's actually a K1300. I'm the first person to go on it. It's only got like 200 Ks. I did it all today. And I'm like, he just changed. He changed from like full serious to like, oh, check out this bike.
Wait, what was he going to GQ for?
He wasn't going to dick me for shit. He's just checking. He's checking license and whatever. But I told him, I'm like, why did you pull me over when I'm just waving at you? You're the first bike up I see and you're pulling me over. Like you're wasting my time and everything. I haven't done anything wrong. My bike's completely legal. I'm completely legal. I'm on my L's. He can see I'm on my L's.
Are you legal, L's?
I'm completely legal, yeah.
Yeah, but back then, were you legal? You were 18.
Yeah, man.
Someone 21 could not have tapped you. Not legal.
It was still a fob.
Savage.
Oh my god.
Dude, I told you about the one where I was at the lights and I was on my way to Chadstone, like going to the TAFE.
Yeah.
I remember I got to the lights down at I think it's Murrumbina, is it?
Yeah.
That's the train line there's terrible. I think it's in between
what?
Oakley and not Glen Huntley. Caulfield and Oakley.
Yeah, what about it?
In between there's a station, but it's like that distance where it's like the train line's always going down.
Yeah.
Just because the distance between the two stations in between it's just too short for them to go up.
Yeah.
So you're sitting there for a good like 10 minutes sometimes. And I was sitting there and then I pulled up and this bike copper pulls up just behind me. I'm like, right. So I turned around and I gave him like the nod. I brand new rider. No worst part, mate, was I gave him the nod. And then the train lines went up and like I'm still new to riding. Like I only just got introduced to the road rules. So some of them I was still a bit like unsure with.
Yeah.
So the things went up, the barriers went up. I went straight over.
Oh, so you didn't wait until the flat.
Oh shit!
See, I always wait. No one ever waits.
Me, just learn it. Just waves to him, and then like fucking just goes over, right in front of him. So next second he like chucks his lights on, chases after me, and I pull over, and he's like, "Oh, it's a bit loud, isn't it?" And I remember freaking out, thinking like, "Oh, he's gonna do me for my exhaust."
Yeah.
So I was like, "Oh, is it?" He's like, "Sirens." You knew exactly what I was thinking.
shit.
But he just thought,
Shit.
I'll let him know. He's like,
Fuck
"Sirens
it
I'm talking about, buddy."
Got you. Got you, man. That's hardcore.
That's
Oh, man.
another thing. What do you think about nodding? Like,
bruh.
why is it? Why is
So
it?
satisfying though when you actually give a nod. up
Yes,
in the
and when you get
mountains.
one back,
and
Yeah.
not even to
look.
get one back. I think it's just satisfying to be able to nod to people.
But
I mean,
that's the
so
same-
getting one back
It's
is
not
like a
just
bonus.
motorbikes though. I was walking in the city a few times and I saw these guys with like metal t-shirts and we just look at each other and do like the horn sign or whatever.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just-
Well,
because-
I guess
because
yeah.
This is like a
because-
whole other community for me.
but it's everything.
basically
It's
any,
everything,
like,
yeah.
small community like Metalhead is very small community with very like
Yeah.
tight people, like very.
But
close
it's
together.
not even just that. It's not even just that. See, with that kind of stuff, it's like it's the acknowledgement that you are interested in something that not many people like. But in motorbikes, I think it's a bit more. I think it's a bit more. It's in terms of like,
Oh,
where-
no.
It's like when you're out in the mountains and you get a nod and you nod at someone. It's the acknowledgement that yes, you both know what
Yeah,
it's
but
like.
that's exactly the
You
same
both
thing
know
with,
what
like-
it's like. It's not just that.
No, it is.
It's about there's a risk in this.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's a bit more. There's a risk in
Right,
this,
yeah.
and we're both accepting the risk because of how good it is, and you both know. Like
Yeah, no
things,
shit, yeah.
things like that don't have to be said. It's just you both know that it's like you're taking out this risk. He's going this way, you're going that way. You're going to take exactly the same road. You're going to go through exactly the same thing, but you're both acknowledging each other for being
Well, if
for
you
being
take
there.
the same road.
We're all in
then,
this together.
then
High School Musical.
And
We are. We're all in this together, guys.
But yeah, like why do cruisers not nod?
I
Because
think
we're
the
not
trainer
cool
look
enough.
cool,
Oh, my dad does.
Oh, your dad's mad
Yeah,
though.
but he's not
Yeah, my
trying to be
dad-
cool.
He's awesome, man.
My dad's like the exception, yeah.
Ladies
He's
and
not a
gentlemen,
cruiser
Sam's
rider, though.
dad
A lot of
is
people on cruisers are just trying to
very,
have that golf guy.
he's very involved with us.
Or maybe they're just like loners, and maybe they just don't like to.
yeah.
like,
They're
they get a
trying to be
cruiser.
like lone wolf kind of guy,
Like,
and
this
just
is
like
gonna sound really, really like stereotypical, and maybe not stereotypical, but just a direct punch to like anyone who's in that kind of age bracket. But
yeah,
like cruiser guys are usually like
40 years
from
old or
40
cunts.
onwards,
no,
Yeah.
sorry.
and like they've got families, nagging wives, crazy teens and children, shit like that, and like I can see how like they just want to get away from all that stuff.
Yeah.
They're a little bit like annoyed
Yeah.
from everyone. So they get this motorbike, this cruiser, which is like, it's nice and comfortable, it's loud as fuck, and it's their escape. And then like you've got like these guys on sport bikes who are just like out there just like loving life, peaking on like Red Bull and
that's
shit.
very true, actually.
And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
they nod to you and you're just like, fuck, here we go. Like I'm trying to escape people and people
Well,
come to me again.
If you think about
Man.
it, we kind of like look at them and we the stereotype for a cruiser
But
is
look-
an older guy.
but look,
But they look at sport bikes.
yeah,
And they probably have this view on most sport bike riders
Yeah.
are the guys who run from cops, just do stunts.
but it's not even
ride
that. It's
them,
not even
like,
that.
illegally,
Le-
and just ride
le-
stupid. And they probably actually look, and that's why they don't nod at some riders, because they probably look
Yeah.
at some of them and they think, you're just an idiot.
Well,
on the
leave,
road.
leave
I'm
out
not gonna nod to
stereotypes.
you."
Leave out stereotypes. But leave
Yeah.
out the stereotype that you look at someone like a cruiser and be like, oh, they're probably this, and then the stereotypes that they put on you when they see you on
Yeah.
a sport bike. But leave that out for a second. If you're not having fun, if you're not loving life, if you're not truly having the best time of your life while you're on the bike, why are you riding? If you're not so
To go to
happy that
work.
if you're not so
Well, you've obviously
happy,
got a crap bike.
well, well, if you're not
No bike
happy,
at all.
if you're not happy with your riding to the point where you're like just saying hi to everyone and just loving life and everything looks so great and everything is like has this new color to it because you're on a bike. Maybe like I know you're making a joke, but maybe that is true. Maybe you're on the wrong bike. Maybe you're not on the right one for you.
But there's
Yeah.
something with cruisers though. I've always, every time, you remember that one guy in Infantry Gully?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
One day when we were coming back from Dalesford, we pulled over next to these guys on Beach Road, like probably like three 60-year-old dudes, and they looked really douchey with like this super shiny bikes and shit. And I was just like next to them at the red light. I was revving the MC22 like crazy just to piss them off, just looking at them being like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get ya. And turns out like one of them chatted with me a little bit at the red light and was super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think they just had to
You have to, you got to jump into the
yeah,
deep
it's
end.
the
Some of them,
first
yeah.
step that they probably never gonna make because they've had so many years of experience of riding and
Yeah.
but
That's the thing. Yeah, they probably just they probably get fed up as some of the noobs who come up to them and try and pretend like
probably.
they know
Yeah.
so much as well. Like walking
Yeah.
up going, oh yeah,
Well, see
I know
that,
what
but,
bike
but
is.
dude, that's with everything, man.
Yeah.
I've like you have that with sport bikes. So why are sport riders not deterred by that thing? Like it happens to everyone.
Oh, but then you can get into the argument and say, like, the leader bike guys, the R1 guys that have been riding for like 3 years, and they're like, in some with
the leader.
Yeah, it's
the leader bike.
I want a leader bike.
The leader bikes.
It's
Shout out
the
to Ben's
guys,
friend.
Oh my god.
I want a leader bike.
It's
Hey, man.
those guys as well, man.
always in the
When I
lead.
grow up, I want to get a leader bike.
But you do get a bit of snub from those guys as well. Just
Oh,
'cause-
dude, I've been snubbed
Yeah.
by them, but I've also
Look, I've
had the satisfaction of seeing those people. I mean, it's gonna sound really bad, but I've been put down by having a 650. When I sort of rocked up to a petrol station and saw all these guys with R1s and CB1000s and ZX10s and everything, and I was like, "Oh, where are you guys going? Are you guys going mountains? Like, do you mind if I join?" And they're like, "No, well, fuck mountains. We're gonna, go up and down the highway." I'm like, "Oh, well, listen. That's not the end of it. That's not the end of it." And they're like, "No, it's gonna go up and down the highway." I'm like, "Oh, fair enough. Whereabouts? Like, do you mind if I come along with you?" He's like, "No, we're not riding. We're just going. Like, we're chilling here and then going back and forth from here." I'm like, "Okay, fair enough." And I stuck around for a little bit, just like bought some food and bought a drink, and I was just drinking and eating next to my bike. And then a couple of guys from that group get on their bikes and go down the highway and start doing rolling burnouts and stuff. And then it goes green for the cars to go, and this guy's still doing like donuts in the middle of the street, don't get me wrong, he had skill, but it's such a douchebag thing to do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool and everything, but it's so selfish and no regard. But what really sort of satisfied me, it's gonna sound bad,
This is going to trigger so much on MSR.
the guy,
Triggered so
dude,
much.
the guy
We're
stacked.
making history here.
Yeah.
The guy actually stacked. One of the guys that was doing wheelies and stuff, he stacked. He flipped it, and he was fine. He just walked it off. But I was so satisfied when this happened.
Oh, you douche.
I felt-
You douche.
Wow.
Because,
You're
like,
an
part of the
asshole.
because all this,
community, my
yeah,
ass.
I know, but I was so
I stopped for any biker.
Oh! I was so satisfied, but I felt so bad for being satisfied that I just went home. I was like, "Yeah, I'm done. I gotta leave. I gotta
Did you
leave this
say,
area."
I'm done.
Yeah, I
So you
said
didn't
I'm
go and
done.
help him
These
then?
words.
You decided.
No, dude, definitely. Like, I helped him. I took the bike off. I make sure he's all right. But I couldn't help the underlying smokiness, the sort of. I couldn't help that I had some sort of part of me that was just like, yeah, he deserved that.
This is
Oh, you
turning
don't
to
have
counselling.
1,000, you
This
can't
is
hang
turning
with
to
us
a
type
counselling
shit.
I just
session.
remembered I had a fine for parking that I didn't
exactly,
pay.
Yeah.
Oh, you should get onto that, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know where it is.
Hey guys.
Well,
Hey guys. Here's we're just on. I'm just on the Melbourne Street Riders
So when we
discussion
get to the
group.
topic of tyre shine,
1 second. We'll get to it.
But there's nothing to discuss. It's such a brilliant idea. I mean, if it's gonna make your bike, stand out for being so
Shut up.
shiny,
Shut up,
would
let's
they
move
do it?
on.
man,
Shut
like I
up.
said the other day, like
Guys,
it's
Like,
guys,
you
guys.
I got it onto the road. Even when it went down, it looked fresh out of the factory.
Like that's
Like,
what
man, I kid you not, the tyre shine was so
I can't
shiny.
do this, Chad.
Right, like a
I can't do this.
Man,
What is happening?
There was red carpet still on the tyre.
Oh
Like
my god.
it had just come off the showroom.
Guys, all right. Here's a question on the MSR page. I just want to
Jeez.
address this for a second. Has anyone got their pit plates for their bikes recently? I'm going for mine before they change again, which is the new learner scheme. And he said, I was wondering if anyone has some advice or pointers. Is it just a writing test or is there a written test? No, let's leave the statistics out. So you can go online and check out what the test is like. You can go on Vic Roads and it'll tell you what the test is. But in terms of pointers, like practical pointers, what did you, what did you find hard about the test, and what did you find the most challenging about the peace test? I mean, it's
I'm actually not even trying to be funny here.
one would argue that the hardest part of the peace test is going there.
No.
But
No, I was going to say the hardest part I found was just being patient for some of the other riders there. As in,
Yes.
like, the riders who go for their learners do absolutely no riding, and then they go to the peace test expecting they'll pass it with flying colours.
yeah,
Because I had a guy who held me up in the pouring rain.
Are you
He had
bugging me
to
right now?
retake the test so many times, he kept doing it wrong. They said, that's not how we've asked you to do it.
yeah,
He technically hadn't failed, but he wasn't following their instructions.
yeah. But
And it
you
wasted
can't help
so
but
much
feel
of my
so
time.
sorry for people.
Yeah. I just couldn't believe it.
Like,
I
you
thought,
want them to pass. So imagine being the
he shouldn't have
instructor.
passed. He passed. that day.
Imagine being the instructor. You want to fail people because it's the right thing to do, but also you feel so sorry for them.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like P's and L's in Australia, the hardest part is me coming from Europe, is knowing that you get out there with no skills at all.
Yes.
Yeah.
You do not know shit.
Mm.
You are not trained to do
Sorry,
anything.
Dino, could you just hold the mic closer
Like,
to
you
you?
know what to do, but you will never have the reflexes for it. So like if say on my way back from my P's, I had my bike and I was on Prinny Highway and some guy was just like merging in my lane just in front of me, I'd probably die because fuck, I just didn't have the reflexes and the experience and everything.
I find it's just not
Definitely.
comprehensive enough. Even the car
Yeah.
licensing here is just too easy to get your license.
See,
I
the thing
mean,
is,
that
you
goes with
can
the
never cater
privilege
for every
shit.
type of different
Yeah.
person.
If it's
Well,
a privilege, make it a very like important privilege. Make it something that you should really deserve, not something, as you said, you should be allowed to get. It's something you really should deserve.
I agree.
I don't think
if
it's as bad.
If it's not as much the test is hard to pass, like I mean that is
Yeah.
true. If the test is hard to pass, but at the same time, the whole kind of like training days and that are
Yeah.
actually very like useful to help you like pass.
Yeah.
Because I feel the only reason I struggled so much with my learners was because I've learned how to ride a bike in the day, and then they've expected me to do a test.
Yeah,
If that
same
test,
thing,
If that
yeah,
test
yeah.
was harder,
Yeah,
there's no way I would have passed. It would have taken me too many times. To
exactly.
But then
Yeah.
you get
They weren't-
Yeah.
they're
3
not
days of training.
given-
But the
that's what I'm
pace
saying,
test,
though, like-
the pace test, they base the pace test as something that you would do after 3 months of straight riding. Like almost every
Yeah.
day you're riding, you're practicing your skills. But I don't think it's designed like that. It is almost designed like you could just not ride for 3 months and just barely pass it. I think you should just barely pass it by riding it for every single day. You know what I mean?
Well,
I think you should I think it should still be hard for you, even if you've ridden every single day after. And it wasn't. I rode a lot from my L's to my P's. I rode like almost every day. And was it hard? No. When I did it and finished it, I was like, that's it. Like
yeah.
I didn't think I
beautiful.
deserved
The scary
it.
part, I was thinking, now I've just got to wait a year, and then I can get any bike I want on the market.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's what I
yeah.
was. I was baffled at the fact. I thought
To me,
I've never got to go back to the
Yeah.
government and prove to them my skills from this point on.
yeah.
For the rest of my life.
Well, to be a
technically,
little bit
I
of
can
an
ride however I want, and they're
Yeah.
not going to be able to monitor how I ride at all.
I started riding around 2 years ago, February 2014. I pretty much got my L's for bike L's right after I turned 18, about a month after, just for transport. And then I didn't know what I was getting myself into because I pretty much fell in love with it. I thought I was just going to ride around and not care about bikes and whatever. I just wanted something to putt around on, and I got sucked into the deep black hole that is motorcycling.
Jeez, poetic.
Yeah, well, it is very true. Like, it sounds a bit weird. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I gotta say.
I got into it for the financial reason, and I did think it was a bit cool and whatever, but at the same
Who
time,
doesn't?
at the same time, I didn't go for that. That was not my sort of goal. Oh, I want to look cool and everything. I just wanted something to get to TAFE with and get around on, and I didn't like driving. I like driving, but as soon as I started riding, I was like, I hate driving. I still to this day despise driving so much. It's cool if you like driving, but it's just not for me. I enjoy being on a bike so much more, and I just got sucked into it to the point where I not only got into the Melbourne Street Riders, which is the biggest riding group in the Melbourne scene. I not only got into that, I met the people who run it, and I got to know them, and I stalked the shit out of them until they let me in and let me help them with the community, because I fell in love with the community. And ever since I started riding, I've owned 2 bikes. I had a Daylem 250 VJF, which was awesome. I mean, it was underpowered as fuck, but it was a great bike to learn on. I dropped it many times, no big damage, just something like a nice learning curve, which I think is very necessary for you to... I think you need to know how to fall before you know how to ride properly. You need to know how to stack before you know how to not to stack and what you did wrong. Sounds a bit cliche and whatever, but it is true. And ever since then, I've been on so many other bikes. I've jumped on every single bike that I could get my hands on. Anyone that is
And
crazy
did
enough to let me
burnouts
ride it.
on them.
What's that?
And did burnouts on them?
I basically every time said, "Hey man, do you want to try out my bike?" Yeah, there is a risk in that, and I do get a bit giddy and childish about it and go, "Fuck yes, I do," and that's actually like, because I am like that. I've gotten to ride so many different bikes for a while, like, you know, like not just a 10-15 minute quick ride. I've done big rides with people who've swapped bikes with me, and we've gone a long distance where I've experienced something different. And I realized there's one thing I love about riding, that it is not like a car where you just jump in a different car. It's slightly different, but it's the same. With a bike, you jump on a different bike, even if it looks fairly similar, it's the same sort of style, like naked to naked, super sport to super sport, cruiser to cruiser. It is completely different. If it's a different bike, man, it's a completely different experience. It's got different dynamics, and it's such a big difference from bike to bike, which is what keeps it fresh and interesting to me. I think I'll never get bored of it. So yeah, I'll stop rambling. Sam, introduce yourself.
Don't be shy.
I got into motorbikes. Dad's always been riding since he was 16 back in England, because you could start on at 50cc at the time. Jump from the 50cc to anything you wanted. So Dad's always been around motorbikes, always had that interest. Obviously forced it onto me almost.
Wow.
Kid always had the little bike.
Aren't you grateful for that?
Oh man, 100%.
Like, my dad never rode. Well, he did, but no, he discouraged me from it. My mom, same thing. No one rides in my family. Everyone thought I was just hero, like this fucking little kid trying to be some sort of
Valentino Rossi.
Yeah, trying to be Rossi out, or the Rossi of the family. But really, what's that?
Sam Rossi.
Sam Rossi Carter. Yeah. So, what bikes have you ridden? What bikes have you owned?
Yeah, so I started off on the CBR 250RR. And man, it still makes me laugh. Like, when I first looked into getting a motorbike, I looked at the Hyosung GT250.
Hey boy.
Yeah.
The Ninja 250, and I remember a guy rocked up to school in one, like he just got his motorbike license, and I was extremely jealous watching him rock up to school in it, and I was like, fuck, that is the coolest.
It's funny you say that. Same thing happened to me. This guy used to rock up to my school on one, and I was so jealous. Yeah, I was just like, wow, I want to do that.
250, like,
Yeah.
pretty small, underpowered bike, but when I saw it, I was like,
But when you first start, it's like the greatest thing ever.
Such a quick, cool,
Yeah.
super sport looking bike.
Yeah.
And I was set to get one. Like, I was looking around, and then my dad jumped on it, and he's like, "Why don't you ever look at one of these?" Show me the CBR 250RR. And I'll tell you, man, I was not keen on it. Like, I was looking at them, all the ones I wanted to look at were the Tiger Kit ones, which is going to be a great race later on today.
Yeah.
That's the bikes I was looking at. Like, I was looking at the Tiger Kit ones, and then my dad was like, "This is probably the cleanest one you could get. Like, I reckon buy this." So
Yeah.
I jumped on what my dad reckoned was right, and I tell you what, best decision I've ever done.
Definitely.
Definitely not the ZXR.
Been around so much.
Yeah.
But everything I've learned about my bike mechanically so far, I don't reckon I would have learned any of that if I had a brand new EFI brand new EFI motorbike. I don't reckon half that stuff that went wrong with my bike.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. There is a downside to having an older carbureted, non-fuel injected, no ECU bike. There is a downside, but the upside to that, I mean, I never went through it. My Daylon was EFI 2010, and my second bike was a CF Moto 650 NK. That was EFI as well. I bought it brand new. I never got to experience the hassle and the having to work for your bike to start. My bikes always start first shot.
Satisfying thing when you get
It is, yeah. That's what I mean. There is a downside to it, but there's an upside to it. Yeah.
I mean, to tell you what, man, it's given me so much trouble, so much stress. The amount of time I've wanted to give up and just throw it aside. But I mean,
it is a very good metaphor for life as well. Like, it really, it is. I know. Like, I don't want to get too philosophical about this, but it is like, it actually does shape you as a person as well. Being a rider is something that not only is very dear to me as part of my personality. Now, no matter, even if I'm not riding it at the moment, I don't have a bike, but it'll always sort of stay with you, and sort of for some reason, having a bike and having to deal with the bike sort of, I don't know about you guys, but it makes me be able to deal with like normal personal life stuff a bit more, sort of structured and be able to sort of diagnose anything that isn't perfect with whatever's happening with your life, just because you're used to it with your own bike, which you hold so dear, and it is your companion. It becomes your companion. A car.
Sam sold his companion.
Yeah, a car can never be as good as a companion as a bike, because a bike, it's all about being vulnerable. You're vulnerable, and the car isn't, but the bike is
pretty much like a horse.
Well, dude, I must admit,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
go out to that place
It's a faster horse.
And when you go
Iron
like,
horse.
When you go far out of Melbourne, man, and going up places like Icy Creek and that,
Mm.
you go that far out, and I've sat there and I've looked at the bike when I'm there,
Mm.
and I thought, like, I'm 100% reliant on this machine is going to get me all the way back home.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so far away from home right now.
Mm.
The only thing stopping me from getting home right now is this bike.
And any experiences,
you've got to have full trust in your motorbike.
Yeah. any experiences that you have while you're on the bike is you owe it to the bike.
Corner,
Yeah.
You go through a corner, like, if you feel like the tyre slipping a bit, but the bike catches it, like, you've got full trust of bike.
Yeah.
Like, you put your life in your bike.
Some people have too much trust in their bike, but you know what I mean. Yeah. So
That's
Thomas,
what you gotta look after at the same time, yeah.
Nice, right?
Introduce yourself.
So
Us talk about-
Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah. No, it's interesting. I just want to it's interesting because he's saying things that I relate to.
So my name's Thomas Time. Just moved in Australia about Thomas. That's my first name. T-Bomb is my nickname, but actually most people know me
Thomas Medefore, yeah.
T-Bomb. Yeah, so I just got my license after test riding an MC19 that was probably about a year and a half ago, and then I met gorgeous Sam. Yeah, Brenton. You know Brenton? Yeah, he had an MC19, so I test rode it. I was like, oh, fuck yeah, it's pretty cool, you know?
Mm.
And I just got slightly interested into it, and then I met Sam through my girlfriend.
It is pretty cool, isn't it?
It is pretty cool. and then Sam convinced me to get the license.
Oh,
So
God.
I got my license. I bought the MC22, 1990 MC22.
Yeah.
Very nice and everything. A little bit dodgy. Bought for very cheap, and that's the only bike I've ever ridden. So I've been riding properly for about 7 months. I've done 9,000 Ks on it. I've done everything from commuting.
Only?
Yeah.
Really?
I started commuting on it.
Yeah.
So I'd probably do about 2,000 K for the full semester, and then when the vacation started in 2 months, I've done 7,000 K.
Oh,
So it's decent. It's all right.
that's not too bad. Yeah, I'm just basing it on what I did. I mean,
You've done 40,000 K.
well, no, on my 250, 40,000 I did on the CF, on the CF motor. But on my 250, I did 17,000 Ks in 5 months.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a huge amount.
It's not bad.
It's not too bad, yeah. But I'm just thinking, like, I commuted to TAFE. I had work, briefly at the time, but I didn't really commute anything else. I just went mountains and TAFE, mountains and TAFE.
Dandenong to Box Hill is twice as long as Caulfield.
Oh, it's 60 Ks. It's 60 Ks a day, 4 times a week. It still doesn't amount to 15,000 Ks over 5 months.
No, I'm not saying
most of it was me just going out because I didn't have anyone at the time. I didn't know about Melbourne Street Riders. I did not know about any riding groups. So I used to just go out by myself for very long distances and get lost, which wasn't always the best, but it taught me a lot about myself and my bike and just everything.
Well, I've been mostly riding with said Sam. I've done a few of the famous spots around Melbourne, and as they were saying before, the whole getting to know your bike. Mine had a few issues and a few things that I wanted to deal with myself, and I can say confidently now that I know pretty much all there is to know about carbs, how to pull them, how to fix them, how to put them back on. Same thing about just mechanics in general, which is quite helpful not only for bikes. Not only for all bikes, but also for cars that are carbies or injection you can't really do anything with because it's electronic. But just getting to know how it all works, I'm kind of grateful that I bought a shitty bike.
Nice.
it's a money pit, but it's also quite
See, that's the most. To me, that's the most like ironic thing. You get into it because you want to be like financially sort of.
Yeah, it always ends up fucking you up.
But it's the greatest disaster to ever happen for
Yeah.
you financially, because you get into it thinking it's going to be it's going to be an economic way to get around.
And never is.
But honestly, if you stick by the original thought about writing that you had when you first start. So when for example, when I first started, I was like, okay, I'm just going to buy this thing, service it every now and then, bare minimum, everything bare minimum. I'm just going to make sure it runs and I'm going to get around. But you get so into it, you start developing this like attachment to it that you want to take care of it.
Yeah.
You want to upgrade it. You want to do that stuff. And you want to go further and further with it, that you end up spending so much money and you can't help yourself. You're like, you know, you don't like, I don't want people who don't ride that are listening to this, I don't want them to think that bikes are expensive. They're not. If you want to be cheapy about it, you can. And it'll be cheap as fuck.
300 and that's it. Yeah.
It'll be cheap as fuck. But you don't understand, once you get into it, it just becomes like this thing that it's like, you know, it's like an obligation.
Mm-hmm.
One I actually came up with Nikki, like my girlfriend turns around.
Oh, yeah.
Who's Nikki?
That's going to be a
Nikki?
subject of discussion, guys.
Who's
My
Nikki?
girlfriend turns around and
Yep.
says, oh, you've got a motorbike. It's cheaper.
And did you start riding before you met her or after?
As I met her.
What do you mean?
During the first date.
So you're saying that? So you're saying that?
Irrelevant.
So you're saying that bikes pull chicks, right?
It does, yeah.
Ah.
But no, what I was going to say was...
Do you like those people that get a bike to pull chicks? Just so, do you like those kind of guys that like get bikes for the same reason that they started going gym?
You know what? Fuck it. Like, I'll get a motorbike. Like,
She's pretty much like your
that
girlfriend.
can be my girlfriend. But then this chick decided to try and steal the attention away.
Yeah, and they always do that, don't they? They always.
I'm
Yeah.
still fighting battle.
Oh, he's still fighting. Yeah. Man.
Give all my love to that motorbike.
All right, let's hashtag pray for Sam.
Just with Sam
You know, he's being very
whipped.
he. No,
he's back to what I was talking about. Like, she turned around to me and she said, "Cars."
So basically,
she said, "You say a bike's cheaper than a car, but
Yeah.
you spend more money on your bike."
Oh, dude, I reckon you're very brave for trying to get the attention back from her to put it on your bike, because that is like, man, I feel that.
Well,
I feel
I'm
that.
ignoring you. Right
Yeah.
now.
You can never ignore me.
With the car, like,
Yeah.
I said to her, one of the problems that is with a motorbike, and this is what you said, like, you can be cheap about a motorbike.
Yeah.
But when you start riding the motorbike, you want to make sure it runs to the best of
It's not just that. I do think that is true, that you want to make sure you're safe and you want to make sure your bike's optimal. But at the same time, you know, why do you get a colored bolt set for your fairings? Why do you get an aftermarket rear set? Why do you get a little flashy bar ends? You know what I mean?
But she would turn around and she'd go, "You've had to pay for this, you've had to replace that part." And things like replacing the thermostat. I didn't have to replace it. The one I had was working fine.
Well, no, see, that's
me,
fine. I'm
for
cool
me,
with
that's
that.
the kind of thing I replace, because then I know that it's running
better.
best in
Well,
stability.
look, that's
But then a car driver
basically
runs the car
Yeah.
until something goes wrong with the car.
yes.
Motorbike riders, we aim to maintain the bike before anything does fail.
Because then,
But this is different. What I'm talking about. See, what you're saying is the maintenance of the bike mechanically to make sure it's healthy and you address things before they go wrong. What I'm talking about is the money pit, the part that takes most out of your money towards the bike, which isn't so much mechanical. Most of the money you pay, like, why do you pay $20 more? Well, I'm not talking you personally, but why do you pay $20 more for a gold chain instead of a silver chain? Because you have an attachment to this
Rappers
thing.
do the same.
You don't want people.
No one asks them anything.
You don't want people to just look at it and be
House
like, "Oh my god, he's got a gold chain." No, because
House?
you like it so much that
Are
you
you
want to feel
biased?
good about it too. What's that? Sorry. Yes. All right, Thomas. What did you say? Sorry for cutting you off,
I'm
Thomas.
just messing around.
I'm just messing
But
around.
yeah, I reckon it's just that because motorbikes are so cool, and you are gonna look
Are they cool?
bitching on it. They are cool.
They are
Cool
cool.
bitches.
Mm,
Anyways,
motorbikes
because
are
you're
cool.
gonna look so cool, might as well look
So cool.
the extra cool by having a gold chain.
Oh wow, this conversation is going downhill.
No, it's not. I'm saying out loud what everybody's thinking.
Fuck me, dude.
And man, like Nike Airs, like those.
Didn't you get the new Kevlar singlets that just came out by Dragons?
Fuck that.
The Kevlar wife beaters.
Now, I feel like we should address a topic that is gonna split MSR in half. What about squidding, boys?
Oh, we will. Yeah. That's a good topic. Yeah.
No, we have to, because I was reading this post yesterday about that one guy who crashed, and I forgot the name. He's from MSL though, saying how he was wearing Kevlars, leathers, and riding boots. I think, if I remember right.
Yep.
And even with that, he managed to lose 3 toes. I mean, obviously not his fault considering what he posted. And yeah, and then you have these people just fucking wearing shorts and singlets and tongs, and I don't know, man. It's just
He's
like,
getting so passionate.
nah, it's just like
It's getting
I always think about them and
so
like,
intense.
see them with like fucking huge ass road rashes on their legs and shit. And I'm just
I
like,
think it's
why
sexy.
the fuck? Like, what is the benefit from squidding except alright, you look slightly cooler, maybe slightly more badass, and you know you don't feel
To squid.
yeah, you,
Really?
all right, you don't have leathers, you don't
See,
sweat.
actually,
Like,
I
what's
beg
the
to differ.
benefit?
honestly, there's a lot of people. I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of people would agree that, you know, oh yeah, you look cooler when you're squinting because you're like YOLO and shit. You know, you don't give a fuck.
I don't
But
think it's cool, but I reckon if people do it,
I do
it's
think
probably-
about a vast majority of people, not majority, at least half of the riding community and non-riding community do think that when someone is fully geared up, they look cooler than when they're squidding.
when they have a suit, yeah, because they look fucking like a racer.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
even with like,
Especially
not
when it's a
considering the
Rossi,
looks, what's the
yeah,
benefit of squidding really?
the benefit of squidding, man. Honestly, I'm not gonna be a hypocrite. I've done it,
Of course you have.
but I'm not gonna say I've gone mountains. Like I've taken calculated risks. I've basically worn stuff that is not very protective, but it was so excruciatingly hot. It was actually beneficial for me not to wear gear, because if on that said day with that set temperature, I would have had I would have been compromising my own health, because it gets so hot, especially in traffic, that you can pass out. Like if it gets to that point, especially with me, someone who can't really handle the heat too much and gets a bit flustered and gets like a bit, you know, my just my concentration goes away and everything. I start sweating and everything, and it's not pleasant.
You go down the road. If you are jumping on the bike to go 10 minutes up the road, I can understand. Like, I don't really do it myself, but I can understand why someone would think, you know what, I'm just going to chuck the jumper on. I'll just wear my chinos,
Yeah.
some nice shoes on and that, because I'm going on a date down the road and it's easy to take the bike. And maybe they've only got the bike to take them, the car.
Yeah.
They're not going to want to ride down with the helmet, jacket, the Kevlars on and so on. So I can understand why people do it. I'm not saying it's the wisest move and it's not the smartest choice at all times.
Well, while we're on this topic, in America, it is not mandatory to wear a helmet in some states.
Yeah, does
Right?
it
It is
really
mandatory-
surprise you?
It is
I mean, it's
mandatory.
America we're talking about.
It is mandatory to wear a helmet here. Now, do you think it would be a good thing if it would be mandatory to wear gear, a bare minimum, like some, for example, Kevlar jeans, a textile or Kevlar
I don't like
jacket?
the idea of it because
No, I don't think it'll be a good idea.
Because look at the helmets.
Yes.
Certain helmets,
Yeah.
they fine you for tinted visors because the tinted visor doesn't have the
Yeah.
approval sticker on.
There's a
That's
lot of
how-
technicalities and stupid.
My dad
Yeah.
was a hero from England, and his helmet was technically illegal because it didn't have an Australian approval sticker on it. And then that's what's going to happen. People are going to go and buy certain gloves and stuff, and maybe some most of them think, oh, you know what, I want to wear my motocross gloves,
Yeah, and bam, they
So
get
my-
jigged for it.
my road gloves, and the copper may be like, oh, well, I haven't actually got the roads approval sticker on it or something.
I don't think
I
that.
feel it's
Yeah.
not going to go down a good path going that way because it's just something extra for cops to pull you over for.
Yeah.
Whereas it is up to the person's choice. End of the day, they've already raised up the TAC on a bike anyway. I don't see why they need to raise the TAC and then also make it compulsory.
That's a very good point. Yeah.
And that is what I would be scared of. I'd be scared that I would jump on the bike and maybe my Kevlars wouldn't match what is necessarily correct
Yeah.
to wear.
Yeah, I do think gear is very important, but am I gonna go shaming people for not wearing it? No, I don't agree with that. I agree it's you know, do whatever you want, and as long as you're not harming anyone else. Some people would argue
by saying that as long as you're not harming anyone else. Imagine you personally want a squid. All right, fine, you're not hurting anyone else. Till the day you fall and you fucking lose a leg, a foot, or whatever, and then you have your whole family supporting you for the rest of your life.
That's what I mean. I was about to say that some people would argue that, you know, the paramedics that come to the scene, your family, your friends, and everything, what they have to see, and
that's their job. I mean,
I know it's their job, but we are inherently human. We're not. You know, paramedics aren't robots that are just designed to do their job. They are still humans that are trying to make the world a better place. So why, you know, like.
I wasn't saying like, oh, fuck the paramedics. They just do what they should be doing. I'm just saying like.
Yeah, but it's not even paramedics. It's about your parents and your kids.
Topic. End of the day, the gear is there as insurance.
Yeah.
It's not actually, you should never be.
And it's not mandatory to have insurance. So why is it mandatory?
You should never be jumping on the bike. That is a good mindset to get on the bike. Like thinking, I may come off the bike today. I should wear the gear. But at the same time, it shouldn't be the law that you should jump on the bike preparing to fall off the bike. You should be getting on the bike being safe and feeling positive that you'll be able to go for a ride for the day and come home still upright on the bike.
Yeah, but so you staying on the bike has nothing to do with your gear.
They should also still be focusing back to the thing of the licensing and stuff.
Competency, yeah.
It always goes back to that. Like,
yeah.
Gear is just something we choose to wear to protect ourselves in case something bad goes wrong.
So is a helmet.
I agree with that.
Yeah, exactly.
And if
you could argue that people should wear helmets in the car because in case they hit the car in front and.
I've done that once. I've done that. I've actually filmed a video. It's on my channel, and I will plug myself in right now. If people want to see any personal stuff, I mean, I haven't posted in a while, but if people do want to see some sort of personal motovlogging that I've done, you can head over to YouTube /MELBAWSHIFT Melbourne Shift. Also, I believe Sam has a channel as well. What's your channel's name, Sam? Sam Carter. It's just Sam Carter, isn't it?
You can't find it. Just look up sad ZX7R drop.
Just okay. Don't even ask. Don't even ask.
Whenever looking for my channel, I just look up ZX7R drop.
Yeah, don't even ask why, but look up ZX7R drop if you want to see Sam's channel. He doesn't have too many things on there. He doesn't really talk.
Cruise to Nuji is pretty good.
But he's got a few good videos that he's slowly putting more and more.
Cruise to Nuji is very cool.
I've got about 30 videos on mine. I haven't put up anything in a while, but just because I haven't had the motivation to do it, because I just don't see a point in it at the moment. Might get into it later on.
Mine's more there just for me to kind of watch.
Yeah.
There's some sex tape.
Mine's a bit more personal. I talk about different stuff and actually do talk. I don't just have footage. Not saying that it's better. I'm saying there's just different type of channel. So that's my channel there if you want to follow me. Also, if people want to join up on the Melbourne Street Riders group, if they're not on there, search up Melbourne Street Riders discussion group in brackets on Facebook, which I'm looking at through the screen. Also, Melbourne Double R Riders for people that are...
No, don't promote it, because then there's going to be people with...
Why not? What if someone's listening right now that has a MC22 or an MC19 or whatever?
Yeah. Only
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If someone has that bike, if someone has a CBR 250RR, the older ones, or
single R,
or single R for the
89,
correct?
Also called MC19.
You can basically join up Melbourne RR Riders. What else? What other groups are we affiliated with?
Ninja 300 Riders.
Ninja 300 Riders. That's another group there. ZX3R double. If people want to add me personally, I don't mind.
I recommend not to.
I recommend you don't, but if you somehow do, I'm not making it a secret. You can add me, whatever. You can check out the YouTube channel. You can add me on Facebook. You can follow the Melbourne Street Riders Instagram, which I do run, with a few other people. I believe Sam also runs the Sam's Instagram. What's your Instagram, Sam?
Carter English.
He has some quality material on there. Sam Carter with an E, yeah, with a 3 for an E. So the shittiest E you can have, the cliche 3. You can.
It sounds really boring.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just plugging ourselves in so people know where to find us and people know how to jump on and get into the whole conversation, because I do eventually want this to be interactive. I do want maybe potentially for it to be live or
Wow, live. Jeez, ambitions.
you can have it YouTube.
Goals are
Hashtag goals. Well, YouTube does allow you to have a live video and also record it. Also record. So maybe in the future we have a live version that comes on a certain time and recorded people to watch it for later. And
That
then
means we have to be at a certain place at a certain time.
we are at a certain place at a certain time right now.
2 hours later.
That's cool. That's cool. Dude, in the future it might be different. It might be a lot more well, not might be. I'm saying it will be a lot more better organized, you know?
Yeah. So never mind today, guys.
Never mind today. Today was just a startup talking about whatever we thought we were going to talk about. If there are any suggestions, I will leave the YouTube comment section open. If anyone wants to, have any input,
make boat jokes.
have any input,
Please do.
we will make boat jokes about Zam's ZX7 in the future episodes.
Yeah.
If anyone has any topics they want discussed or any input to any of the topics we talked about today, please put it in the comment section. And also, we in terms of frequency, this will probably be every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks is a happy medium. I think every month is a bit too long.
Yeah.
Every week might be pushing it. Maybe eventually we go, you know what, this is pretty easy. Let's do it every week. I don't have a problem with that. In terms of who's going to be on there, I will always be on there. I think Dino or Sam will always be on there. I don't know about Thomas. Maybe you want to take a few times off or whatever. That's up to you. Whoever wants to be on there can be on there. Within reason. Thank you for listening to Kickstand Podcast, brought to you by Street Riders. Please join us next time for the next episode. Please don't hesitate to put your questions, queries, and any comments you want into the comment section. Thank you for watching again, and see you next time.
Do you want to know a secret?